Hari. Jai Gopi Jana Yashodananda Jana Ranjan Yamadi Vacha Yamunati Rava Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Itai Gora Hari Bol. Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Im Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Nama Pankajanabhaya Nama Pankajanane Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye Aradhyo Brajeshatanaya Stadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachita Upasana Vrajavadu Varginaya Kalpita Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumarto Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatra Dharana Para. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, second canto, entitled as Cosmic Manifestation, right? We are in chapter 6. Chapter 6 named as Purusha Sukta Confirmed. So please repeat. Brahma Uvacha Vacham Vahne Mukham Kshetram Chandasam Sapta Dhatavaha Avyakavya Amrita Annanam Jivha Sarva Rasasya Cha. Brahma Uvacha Vacham Vainirmukam Kshetram Chandasam Saptadhatava Avyakavyamritananam Jivha Sarvarasasya Cha. Brahma Uvacha Vacham Vainirmukam Kshetram Chandasam Saptadhatava Avyakavyamritananam Jivha Sarvarasasya Cha. Brahma Uvacha Vacham Vainirmukam Kshetram Chandasam Saptadhatava Avyakavyamritananam Jivha Sarvarasasya Cha. Vacham Vainirmukam Kshetram Chandasam Saptadatava Dhamma Vacha Vacham Vairmukam Kshetram Chandasam Saptadatava Avyakavyamrutanama Matajis. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Brahma Vacha. Lord Brahma said, Vacham of the voice, Vahne of fire, Mukham the mouth, Kshetram the generating center, Chandasam of the Vedic hymns such as Gayatri, Sapta 7, Datavaha skin and 6 other layers, Avyakavya offerings for the demigods and the forefathers, Amrita food for human beings, Annana of all sorts of foodstuffs, Jiva the tongue, Sarva all, Rasasya of all delicacies, Cha also. Translation. Lord Brahma said, the mouth of the Virat Purusha, the universal form of the Lord, is the generating center of the voice, and the controlling deity is fire. His skin and 6 other layers are the generating centers of the Vedic hymns, and his tongue is the productive center of different foodstuffs and delicacies for offering to the demigods, the forefathers, and the general mass of people. The opulences of the universal form of the Lord are described herein. It is said that his mouth is the generating center of all kinds of voices, and its controlling deity is the fire demigod, and his skin and other 6 layers of bodily construction are the representative generating centers of the 7 kinds of Vedic hymns like the Gayatri. Gayatri is the beginning of all Vedic mantras, and it is explained in the first volume of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Since the generating centers are the different parts of the universal form of the Lord, and since the form of the Lord is transcendental to the material creation, It is to be understood that the voice, the tongue, the skin, etc., suggest that the Lord in His transcendental form is not without them. The material voice or the energy of the taking food stop is generated originally from the Lord. Such actions are but perverted reflections of the original reservoirs. The transcendental situation is not without spiritual variegatedness. In the spiritual world, all the pervaded forms of the material variegatedness are fully represented in their original spiritual identity. The only difference is that material activities are contaminated by the three modes of material nature, whereas the potencies in the spiritual world are all pure because they are engaged in the unallied transcendental loving service of the Lord. In the spiritual world, the Lord is the sublime enjoyer of everything, and the living entities there are all engaged in His transcendental loving service without any contamination of the modes of material nature. The activities in the spiritual world are without any of the difficulties of the material world, but there is no question of impersonal voidness on the spiritual platform as suggested by the impersonalists. Devotional service is defined in the Narada Pancharatra as follows: Sarvopadi vinurmuktam tatparitvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate. Originally, since all the senses are produced of the Lord's reservoir of senses, the sensual activities of the material world are to be purified by the process of devotional service, and thus the perfection of life can be attained simply by purifying the present position of our material activities. And the purifying process begins from the stage of being liberated from the conception of different designations. Every living entity is engaged in some sort of service, either for the self or for the family or for the society, country, etc. But unfortunately, all such services are rendered due to material attachment. The attachments of the material affinity may be simply changed to the service of the Lord, and thus the treatment of being freed from material attachment begins automatically. The process of liberation is therefore easier through the devotional service than by any other methods. For in the Bhagavad Gita it is said that one is subjected to various kinds of tribulations if one is impersonally attached. Klesho dikatadastesham avyakta sakta chetasam. Srila Prabhupada ki. Om ajnanatimirandasya jnananjana shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरून् श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती इति नामिने। श्रीवाशवानवी देवी दयिताय कृपाब्धये कृष्णसम्बन्धविज्ञानदायिने प्रभवे नमः। माधुर्योज्ज्वलप्रेमाद्य श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute. Namaste Gauravani Shri Muktaye Deenatharine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Tvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagyamutaye Vipralambara Sambodhi Padambujayate Namah Namo Bhakti Vinodhaya Sachidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumishtam Nirjeshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namah Vancha Kalpatarubhyacha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patithanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namasate Jayatam Surato Pangor Mama Manda Matirgati Masarvasya Bhadam Bojo Radha Madanamohano Divya Vrindaranya Kalpa Jumara Śrīmad Ratnagara Simhasanasto Śrīmad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Preshtalibhi Sevyamano Swarami Śrīman Rasa Rasarambi Bhumshi Vata Tatastita Kashan Venur Swaner Gopir Gopinada Strayestuna Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We are in second canto, the cosmic manifestation. Sixth chapter is Purusha Sukta confirmed. So in the previous verses, I was hearing from His Grace Rameshwar Prabhu, is very dear disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He says he selected few lines from purport and translation. It says Purusha Sukta has a residency which comprises humanity. What is the goal of humanity? To realize God and to associate with the Lord. And in this humanity, not only they have unity amongst only human beings, but it should also have unity between other living entities. Because each living being is part of the body of the Purusha Sukta. As a particular duty in relation to that body, when that is not performed, then there is a disruption in society. So this Purusha Sukta says that how everything is a part of God's body. Everything what you see around. So this describes about the universal form of the Lord. We see in Bhagavad Gita also. See, God has a material form, but it is not a permanent one. The universal form is not a permanent one. It is a temporary material form. It's a material form. It's not a spiritual form. It's a material form of the Lord. And it is for those who are neophyte devotees, those who cannot realize Krishna in spiritual form, those who are unable to see Krishna in a spiritual form. they are suggested to see God in this way. How one should see God in which way? For the neophyte devotees, it's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, in the 11th chapter, in the 10th chapter, these are the appearances of the Absolute. Arjuna is asking in 16th verse, please tell me in detail of your divine appearances by which you pervade all these worlds. Krishna says, Maya tatamidam sarvam javat avyaktamurtina mastani sarvabhutani nachaham tesh avastitaha. Krishna says, by me, in my universal form, I pervade all, everything I pervade in my unmanifested form. Krishna is telling here, I am the super soul of all the living entities. Of the radiant, I am the sun. Prabhupada is telling in the morning, as soon as we get up, 3:30, there's a lecture. You see the light is a source. From where it is coming from? From the sun. Similarly, this sun is also there because the effulgence of the Lord, it is coming from the Lord. It is coming from all these planets. Its a source is Brahma Jyoti. This is coming from where? The source is Krishna. So Krishna is a source of everything. Krishna says, I am the moon. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, this material world is a dictionary of the spiritual world. This material world is a dictionary of the spiritual world. How? Just like in dictionary, Maharaj is giving the example. Suppose if you type horse description is given. It has 4 legs. It makes some noise, some kind of noise, special noise which horse makes. And also, what does it eat? How does it look? Tail, and so you'll find some description. Okay, you'll have some idea about how the real horse looks like. Similarly, how the spiritual world, how the life in spiritual world, how the beauty of the spiritual world, you can see in this world in a minute way. Like you see the birds, how the birds' voices, you see the different birds' colors, how they look. You see, example is parrot, how it looks. Green, it looks beautiful. The birds in the spiritual worlds is millions of times more beautiful than the parrot in this world. Millions of times. The voices in this world, as it says, the origin of all the voices is mouths, coming from the mouth of Virata Purusha. The voices in the spiritual world, the voices of the devotees and the birds, everything is million times, millions and millions, cannot compare also. Much more far, you can see how much beautiful it must be. You see the moon, how beautiful it looks, right? What to speak of Krishna's beauty is the source of all beauties, how much beautiful it must be. So Krishna is telling, I am the light of the sun, of the purifiers. Who is Krishna? Is the wind. Maharaj was telling, on this planet there is one country, it is free from pollution. The first country, it is free from, topmost country, it is free from pollution, because that country has the highest wind blowing, wind pressure. Because of that wind pressure, the pollution in the cities gets purified, because it pushes the pollution down. Because of, so the wind is purifying there. You understood? So Krishna is telling, where is he telling? Here. You see, 31 words. Of the purifiers, I am the wind. Yeah. Among the cows, I am Surabhi. It says in Brahma Samhita, not only these words, but Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasam Surabhi Rabipalayantam. In the spiritual world, here Prabhupada said, here in this material world, cow gives milk once or twice. Usse jada nahi denge. But in the spiritual world, there are cows which gives milk throughout the day. How much? How much milk they give? Huh? As much as you want. Unlimited. Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpataravo Dhruma Bhumi Chintamani Ganamayi Toyam Amrutam. Toyam Amrutam means water is nectar there. Water is भगवान का धाम में जो पानी है वो अमृत है. तोयम अमृतम. तोयम मीन्स पत्रम पुष्पम फलम तोयम. कथा गानम नाट्यम गमनमपि वंशी प्रिय सखी चिदानंदम ज्योति परमपि तद आस्वाद्यमपि च स यत्र क्षीराब्धि स्रवति सुरभिभ्यश्च सुमहान् निमेषार्धाख्यो वा व्रजति न यत्रापि समयः भजे श्वेतद्वीपं तमहं इति इह गोलोकमिति यं विदन्तस्ते सन्ताक्षिति विरलशारा कतिपये. Katha Ganam Natyam Gamanamapi Vamshi Priyasaki means in the spiritual world, the word is a song. The every step is a dance. That's how in the spiritual world. Gamanam, Natyam Gaman. Every step is a dance. So, but when the jivas, they come to this world for what? To forget Krishna. To forget Krishna. The material world is such that the jivas, those who don't want to remember Krishna, those who want to forget Krishna, they are sent here. That's why it is very difficult to preach sometimes. When Maharaj asked, Prabhupada, it is sometimes very difficult to preach. Then Prabhupada says, when did I say that it is easy? When did I say it is easy? Because jivas come to this material world to forget Krishna and we have to preach them. And we were also such kind of souls who wanted to forget Krishna and came to this material world. And still, Prabhupada said that one time, there are still some souls who still they remember Krishna. They are still conscious of Krishna. That. So like Krishna is telling so many things in this Virat Rupa of the time and the destroyer of everything. Like that, whatever you see in this world, everything is coming from Krishna. You see, of the hymns in the Samaveda and the Brihasam of the poetry, I am Gayatri. Here in these words, what is mentioned? The same verse. It says, of the Vedic hymns, Prabhupada writes in the purport, right? Yeah. Like Gayatri. Gayatri is the beginning of all Vedic mantras. It starts with Om, Bhur, Bhuvaha, Swaha, Tassavitur, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yoma Prachodayat. It starts with Om, Bhur, Bhuvaha on the planetary systems. All these things are coming from the part of Virat Purusha, the universal form. Like we are speaking, the voices, you see, everybody has a different voices. Birds have a different voice, animals have different voice. The center of all kinds of generating is the mouth of the Virat Purusha. Understood? Yeah. So, Gayatri is the beginning of all Vedic mantras. Explained in first volume of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. What is that verse? Satyam Padam Dhimahi. Dhimahi means what? Meditate. Meditate on what? Supreme Lord. Satyam Param Dhimahi. So the Satyam Param Dhimahi is Krishna. Okay. But Krishna's form is Krishna. This is material form which we are. But Krishna has a transcendental form. Narayana Paro Avyaktat. Krishna is beyond this material manifestation. Namasye Purusham Padyam Ishwaram Prakriti Pada Alakshyam Sarvabhutanam Antarbahiravastitam. Ishwaram. Kunti Maharani says, Namaste Purusham Tva Adyam. Tva Adyam. You are the Adi. I offer you my pranams to you. Ishwaram Prakriti Param. You are beyond the material manifestation. Ishwaram Prakriti Param. You do not belong to this material world. Brahma says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karananam. Is not like when it comes to this material world, it does not accept body like us, was forced to take birth. Krishna is not like, Krishna never dies. Krishna doesn't become old. Krishna doesn't get diseased. His body is completely transcendent. His body is full of bliss, full of eternity, full of knowledge. When he's a creator of everything. Maya dakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. He's a creator of all this material world. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattham sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bhura bhava samanvita. Krishna says, I am the source of all material and spiritual worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise knows perfectly this. What do? The source of all creation. They engage in devotion service with all their hearts. The material voice or the energy of taking in food storm is generating originally from the Lord. In the spiritual world, all the perverted forms of material beings are fully represented in their original spiritual identity. So in the spiritual world, their bodies are made up of what? You see the picture? They look like us only, but they are not like us. You see this picture here? Their bodies are always youthful. They look like small boys we see in this world, but they have their own spiritual body. They're always like that. They don't get diseased. They don't get old. They don't die. They're always with Krishna. The only difference is that material activities are contaminated by the three modes of material nature. Prabhupada says, like here, material world, people become angry, log gussa ho jate hain. Gita says, when you become angry, your whole body becomes polluted. So we should be very careful. We should check whether ourselves we are becoming angry or not. So this world, someone becomes angry. If someone becomes angry, what do? They forget Krishna. That's the nature. They forget. भगवान को भूल जाते हैं. जब गुस्सा हो जाते हैं, भगवान को भूल जाते हैं. But a devotee, जो भक्तों को भी गुस्सा आता है, लेकिन भगवान को भूल नहीं जाते हैं. That is the difference. जब बद्ध जीव गुस्सा हो जाते हैं, भगवान को भूल जाते हैं. जब कृष्ण का भक्त होता है, when he becomes angry, he remembers Krishna still. In the spiritual world also, there is a competition between, there's the two teams, Chandravali and Radharani. Radharani's team says that Krishna belongs to Radharani. And the Chandravali team says that Krishna belongs to Chandravali. One gopi says, Krishna belongs to mine. He does not belong to you. He is mine. So like that. There also politics is there. This politics only, right? You find everything except envy. In the spiritual world, जो भगवान का धाम में ईर्ष्या नहीं रहते हैं. समझ में आ रहा है आप लोगों को? Irsha, there is no envy in the spiritual world. Everything else is reflected in perverted form. Politics is there, humor is there. uh, like uh, Krishna carries laddu, and when Manmangal says, Krishna, if you give me little of this laddu, then I'll bless you because I'm a Brahmana. Then then Krishna says, okay, he gives little laddu, and Madhumangal becomes so happy, and he clap, clap, clap. So he keeps his hand under like this, and he does like this. And all the gopis laugh, gopas they laugh by seeing Madhumangal doing like that. So Krishna, that is there in you, Krishna humor. One time, Prabhupada, he was with his disciples. He was watching Charlie Chaplin movie. Then Maharaj is thinking, who is a movie I should not watch? It's a Maya. Then he started reading Bhagavad Gita, Dehinos Yata Dehe, Kaumaram Yavanam Jera. Then one devotee, after some time, then Prabhupada was watching and is saying, nice. Charlie Chaplin is nice, humorous. Then some other devotee was also there, and he was telling uh, Maharaj to go and ask Prabhupada why he is watching Charlie Chaplin movie. Is it not Maya? Something like that. Because they are thinking it is Maya to watch movie. Then uh, then they go and ask. Then Prabhupada says, because Charlie Chaplin is exhibiting a real humor, genuine humorous. Krishna made him like that according to his karma. So because it is there in Krishna, and I see in him, I am remembering Krishna because by seeing his humor, I am remembering Krishna. Then they understood, okay, he's seeing Krishna in everything. Like one time, Prabhupada was smelling the champa flowers. How many of you have seen champa? Champa, golden champa. We rarely get the here actually. It's very golden color. Then he says, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. This is the color of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani ka color kaise hai? Champa. So something you can see from the spiritual world, everything you can see in this world. Devotee connects everything to Krishna. Another time, Prabhupada was walking with his disciples on the Laguna Beach near Los Angeles. Then Prabhupada asked, there were many waves are coming. Waves, you know waves? हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं? Keratas? Laharis. So Prabhupada asked them, what are these? Then they say, Prabhupada, these are oceans, waves. Then Prabhupada says, this is then you know how the sound comes? Like that, something it comes all the time. Keep coming, right? So Prabhupada says, this is a heartbeat of the gopis when they don't see Krishna in their life, even for a moment. Yuga itam nimeshena. But for a moment, separation, when when they feel separation from Krishna, when they don't see Krishna, then the hearts of the gopis beat like this. You see how we can never imagine, we never thought of. So that's how the devotee sees everything in Krishna and Krishna in everything. Gopis, of course, the gopis, they don't ask anything from Krishna. They just want to please Krishna, whether Krishna is pleased or not. Everything you can see, like one time Shrutakirti Prabhu was there in the class, and Prabhupada asked, what is the color of the Lord? How does God look like? What is his complexion? Then everybody is something saying gray, black, something. Then Prabhupada says, Krishna's color is blue, that's why the sky is, yeah. So, nobody told us these things, right? Somebody told us, बचपन से देखते हैं बस अच्छा है. We say, oh, it is beautiful, sky is beautiful. But the color of the Lord is bluish color. That's why it is blue. It's emanating from Krishna's body. So, of course, we are tiny souls. We are understanding so many things by reading Prabhupada books, by hearing from Srila Prabhupada disciples, by personally hearing from Srila Prabhupada. Whereas the potencies in the spiritual world are all pure because they are engaged. Isyasti bhakti bhagavatam. Someone who is engaged in devotional service, all the divine qualities naturally manifest. It's not that हम एक्स्ट्रा एंडीवर करना है. भगवान को प्रेममय सेवा करते हैं तो सारे दिव्य गुण आ जाता है. नम्रता भाव से सेवा करना चाहिए हम. राधे श्याम प्रभु was telling when he went to some temple, some devotees in Nepal, they were giving a humble attitude, even lamp also. Prabhu, please take flower also like this. When they apply scent like this softly, he was telling how they Pujari is also very nicely with concentration. He was doing aarti. Not that I saw Kumare was दूर से आप fastly घुमा रहे हैं. So it's so much sincerely and humbly. And he is also telling some devotees in India, they're telling lamp लेके आते हैं ऐसा दिखाते हैं, ले लो ऐसा दिखाते हैं. So we should learn also how to perform devotional service. भक्ति कैसे करना हम सीखना चाहिए. Then with right attitude, when we do, all the divine qualities will manifest in our So, see, so bhakti means what? Purifying the इंद्रियों की शुद्धि करना. तो कैसे करते हैं? सेवा करते करते. Every living entity is engaged in sort of service, either for self or. भागवतम में एक जगह पे आता है, those who are not devotee, जो भक्त नहीं है, उनको घर क्या है? प्रिजन है, जेल है. Those who are not devotees, तो जीवा के लिए प्रिजन क्या है? घर है. और जो लेग्स हैं, हम जो चलते हैं, उस वो क्या है? शैकल्स है. शैकल्स समझते हो? शैकल्स जैसे कभी कभी जो गलत करते, पुलिस को क्या करते इसको? हाँ, कुछ कभी कभी पैर को भी लगा देते, कुछ लोगों को मैं देखा था. तो जो भक्त नहीं है, उनका लेग्स क्या है? शैकल्स है. और जो मेटीरियल अटैचमेंट्स और भौतिक इच्छा है, वो क्या है? What is that? It is thieves. They are the thieves. भौतिक इच्छा और अटैचमेंट टू फैमिली मेंबर, दे आर कॉल्ड थीव्स. जो भक्त नहीं उनको यही है जीवन, जो जेल में पड़े हैं. और भौतिक इच्छा उनको, दे आर स्टीलिंग एंड द shackles are binding him in the jail. So Prabhupada says everybody is engaged in some sort of service for family, for society. It is something called, Prabhupada writes, it's either personal sense gratification or extended sense gratification. Extended sense gratification. But when the same attachments are diverted towards the service of the Lord, like someone may like to hear, but if they divert their attention to hearing the songs of the Lord, Hare Krishna Kirtan, hearing the lectures, then that's the way to purify our heart. Someone is addicted to watching all kinds of bad things with his eyes. If they associate with devotees, come to temple and see such beautiful deities of the Lord, worships, then they become easily forget any other beauty. It's very easy. In Bhagavad Gita 12.5 it says, क्लेशो अधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तस्येतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतदुःखं देहोद्वेगवाप्यते. We cannot be idle, we cannot be void, and because we are living entities. But here Prabhupada says, agar someone is attached to the impersonal conception, if they want to meditate, how you can meditate? on something which has no form. It's very difficult actually. Can't imagine. In my college, my roommate in hostel used to say, "Okay, you get up and you meditate on the light," or something like that. He used to say, and I tried. It was very difficult actually. So nonsense it is. So advancement is very troublesome. I really felt very trouble actually. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Hmm. They are called Brahmavadis. You all know Brahmavadis? They meditate on impersonal Brahman. They are known as Jnanis. Jnanis are known as Brahmavadis. Hmm. The individual soul is embodied since time immemorial. It's very difficult for him to simply theoretically understand that is not the body. अच्छा केवल हम शरीर नहीं है ऐसा सोचना उससे कुछ फायदा नहीं है। मैं शरीर नहीं हूँ, मैं आत्मा में शरीर नहीं हूँ। नहीं, प्रभुपाद बोलते हैं थियोरिटिकली अंडरस्टैंड करना बहुत मुश्किल है। उसके लिए हम भक्ति योगा को स्वीकार करना चाहिए और डीटी को स्वीकार करना चाहिए और उसको हमको बॉडीली कॉन्सेप्शन है। जब पूजा करते रहते हैं, डीटी अर्चा विग्रह करते हैं, उससे हम ऊपर उठेंगे। उसके लिए it's very easy to come out of the worldly conception of life. So there is so much to discuss. Time is over. If you have any questions or comments. Then dear.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So you said that living entity to forget Krishna, so they're coming actually for they're coming to material world, right?
Because of envy, they come here and they forget Krishna.
So even in the previous lectures, I heard like the living entity, the jiva is coming to the material world to enjoy. So the living entity is coming for enjoy or like forgetting to forget
When
Krishna.
you enjoy, you forget Krishna. Okay. Some other questions? Rendra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.